All right, guys, happy Friday, June 21st, coming to you full of excitement, full of gratitude. And it's officially the last day of school for my children. My 13-year-old is finishing her last year of sixth grade, and Silas is finishing his last year, or excuse me, kindergarten. So I'm excited. And then today, I was going to do a hike with you guys today locally, but Lily has a talent show. And for people that have followed the journey with me and my daughter, I've never been able to see anything scholastically. I've never been able to be at an award ceremony. I've never even been able to wish my daughter a happy or a Merry Christmas on Christmas morning. So for the fact that I'm here and I get to go see her do her little performance at her talent show, I'll tell you what, you guys, my cup runneth over with gratitude, with joy and love for being a parent. So today's a big day for me. So I'm very, very excited, but it's not about me. The session is about you guys. So I'm going to have somebody bring us out on the field as always. And this person sets the tone for our group coaching. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have and listen, guys, let me pause for a second. There is far too many people on this call right now that do not have their camera on. Let's be here, come correct, be in this moment, be present, and let's turn our cameras on. So I don't want to say it every single time. I want to encourage you guys to be in this moment. How you show up here is how you show up everywhere. So I want to encourage you, I want to implore you, and I want to push you. Unless you were driving, you're not in a safe place, I get it, but let's spend this time together. Let's be in this moment and let's be fully engaged. I'm going to go to Erica. Erica, you're going to bring us out on the field on this amazing Friday morning. And I also want you to share with our guests what they can expect from this environment and for them attending group coaching today and spending this time with us. So Erica, I'm going to have you bring the team out on the field on this glorious, glorious Friday morning. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, Monday to some. I was thinking about this when I fell asleep last night. Usually I take my time to reflect in bed at nighttime and journal. And yesterday I was thinking about my motivation, how I've been feeling the last few days. And it's three things. It's my happiness, which leads to my motivation to doing things, and then to success. So these three things have really, really kept me going. And these coaching calls with Elias really helped me with that. Some days I'm feeling down and I tap into our 8:30 meetings, and it really sets the tone for my day. And it's definitely been really good to have in my routine for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Well,
So
I appreciate
everybody has a smooth Friday, and let's get this motivation meeting going.
Let's go. Let's go. And here's the thing, you guys keep me accountable, right? At the end of the day, like you guys keep me accountable, you keep me in state and you keep me prepared. So what we're going to do today is I have a series of questions prepared. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around the room. I'm going to call on you, right? And then that person who answers that question is going to pass it to the next person. We're just going to go through these questions because Friday is all about action. But do I have permission on this beautiful Friday morning just to go a little bit further with everybody? Please throw an emoji on the screen if I have permission just to go a little bit further with everybody on this call today. And I'll wait. Because even if I didn't have permission, I'd probably go, but I just want to ask you guys. I just want to ask you guys, for the sake of the conversation, if I have permission to go a little bit further. All right, cool, you guys. I appreciate you. Listen, I've had some amazing coaching sessions this week, and I have to give praise and I have to give respect to the people that I've been able to not only have our group coaching session with, but our one-on-one coaching sessions with. I had a session yesterday with Samiri. I had a session with Sebastian. And they were talking to me about their why, their purpose, their core values, their 5-year plan, their 3-year plan, their 1-year plan, what their niche markets were. And I was absolutely impressed. So here's what we're going to do in the next couple months or next couple weeks. We're going to do a mid-year business planning session. It's going to be in person. Now, I don't know where you're at with your business plan. Some of you I do, but if you're looking at saying, you know what, I need to really make sure that this next 6 months is solid for me and I have a plan, a course of action, a path, I have a compass, I have a beacon, whatever that is for you, I want to make sure we do that. So we're going to have a busy July and I'm going to squeeze another event in there and it's going to be a business planning. So if you're needing help with that, getting clarity to make sure that you walk into the winter months. And I say that because all of the production over the summer is going to lead into fall and winter time. We're thinking about Christmas. We're thinking about, gifts for the family, travel, all those things. I want to look down the road for you guys, and I want to help you develop a plan to capitalize on a very, very busy summer season. So let's do this. I'm going to share my screen here, and let's go here, files, boom. Okay, cool. So let's go here. I'm going to pull up my screen here. All right, hopefully I got this. All right, cool. Let me move my face over here. I try to do this. It's weird sometimes because I'm just a little. All right, so Erica, let me get a thumbs up if you can see my screen. And can you see my face in the far left corner of the screen? All right, cool. So knowing thyself, we've done this a couple times, but I want to continue to do this, especially on a Friday that represents action. So let's go right into this. So we're going to share some wins, personal and professional. I'm going to have Erica, I'm going to have Darnell, and I'm going to have Cynthia answer this question. So Erica, start us off. Share with us a win, personal or professional. Go ahead and hit us with it.
All right, let me see. One win for in general, Elias, or this week?
Well, let's just go from this week, personal or professional. Keep it within this week.
This week, I had booked an appointment for a showing for a home. Unfortunately, it didn't go through, but it was a win for me because I got tapped in with the buyer, and we were able to talk and schedule it for another day.
Okay, beautiful. Talk to me about a personal win. What's something in your personal life? Was it you worked out a certain amount of times this week, milestones with the baby? Tell me a personal win.
A personal win. Okay, so this is a very good win actually. I have a German Shepherd. He's turning 6 in July, and my baby did something incredible yesterday. My dog likes to go in the backyard and start barking at the other dogs, and I told my baby, I was like, hey, like tell Kane to come inside and give him a treat and tell him to lay down. And my baby just went to do it. And he took a treat and he said, Kane, go lay down on your bed. And my dog, he just stopped what he was doing, came in, lay down on his bed, and my baby gave him the treat. And I was in shock. I was like, wow, this is very good. He's listening to Caleb, like a kid, like a small kid that's also 5 years old. Like that was really good. So that was a really good win for me.
Good stuff. I love it. I love it. Cynthia, let's go over to you. Talk to us about a professional win from this week. Let me hear it. Hit us with something. Was it a system you got in place? Was it a process? Was it a appointment? What was a professional win from this week? Cynthia, that's you. All right, we'll come back to Cynthia. Darnell, you are up next, my man. Cynthia, you will be on deck. Let's go, Darnell.
Word. So personal wins, I have relinquished alcohol from my identity. So today makes 66 days. I'm proud of that. And I also I woke up last night for the baby. So I'm proud of that. I've been sleeping through it and kind of giving my BM a hard time. So I woke up last night and I was changing diapers. And since I was still up, moving on to the business win, man, I went right into just going into touring the properties virtually that I'm going to do a buyer's tour with today. I'm actually pulling up to the Walnut Creek office. I have 2 clients, one that's looking to buy in Concord, Walnut Creek. Then I have a doctor that's looking to buy in Berkeley. So I've been working my ass off, man. I've been meeting appointments. I've been making calls, and yeah, we're building traction.
Let's go. Let's go. And hey, the fact that you woke up, what happens, man, is it just starts to become instinctful. Like even a small little move, a small little, like sound, like you just get up. And so congrats to you, bro, because I know that lack of sleep it's tough, man. It's tough as a new father, but shout out to you. Love the business wins, love the professional wins. Looks like we're having some trouble finding that mute button. So we're going to move on to the next question. What was the biggest...
No, I'm here for it. You can't see me, but I don't know what the hell is going on.
All right, let's go.
Zoom.
Yeah, let's go. What was the screen? Share a professional win from this week.
Professional win for this week is that I am killing it on my scripts. So, I'm good at free flowing, but I want it to be a little more, precise in my responses. So I'm practicing that big time.
What's one that you feel like you've been nailing?
The buyer's presentation.
Ooh, okay.
So
Lo-
yeah, so because I do have a buyer, I have an appointment coming up. So yeah, I definitely am trying to get better prepared for that. So
yeah, let's go. Share with me a
and
personal
then
this week.
and my personal is that I lost 4 pounds because I've been working out like crazy. I walked 6 miles this week. No, in one day I walked 6 miles.
Let's go.
So yeah.
All right. So when you get back on camera, give them a flex for the recording today. All right. And shout out to you,
Okay.
Darnell. Not drinking, eliminating alcohol from my life. It was one of the best decisions that I ever made, not only as a man, but as a father and somebody that's truly committed to growth. So congratulations to you, both of you. Love these stories. Let's continue on. What was the biggest challenge that you faced this week? And I'm going to pull up a couple people on the call. I'm going to pull up one of our guests. I'm going to go Chris Stiles. I'm going to go Kelly, and then I'm going to go Natalie. What was the biggest challenge that you faced this week? But the more important part of this question is how'd you overcome it? Let's go, Chris. What was the biggest challenge that you faced this week, my man? Let's hear from you. And by the way, Chris is one of our EXP partners. They run a very successful team out of New Jersey. So really connected with his team leader. Him and I had an ability to connect this week and just talk about leadership and life. And really good to have you in our circle, my man. So Chris, hit him with it, bro. What was the biggest challenge you faced this week? And more importantly, how'd you overcome it?
Yep. Thanks for having me on, guys. It's we are watching you guys from the East Coast over here, and what you guys are doing over there is absolutely amazing. So I would just want to thank all of you guys. I see what you guys are doing, and be very proud of yourselves. Biggest challenge we faced this week here in our market in New Jersey, it is extremely difficult to get offers accepted in our high-end areas. So we deal on a weekly basis with just losing, putting the best offers forward. We had somebody that put in an offer 280,000 above asking price, cash, fully waived, the whole 9 yards, and we came up short. And that's something we have to work on our agents with all the time. It's just, that being part of the process. How we're going to overcome that is just, we get right back out there, we show more houses, and we move on to the next one. We prepare our clients ahead of time that these losses can be inevitable sometimes in this market, so they're not down and out on themselves. And it's something that we work on every single day with our agents, trying to just overcome the market that we're in and the competitiveness. And yeah, we don't have an inventory problem. We have a winning problem, and we just, deal with the facts right in the eyes.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't have any clue that you guys experienced some of the same challenges, because here in the Bay Area, in some markets, like that's common. I mean, $200,000, $300,000 over asking, like non-contingent offers. We're like, what? This is crazy. The house is only 1,200 square feet, but it's located in such an amazing place to live. So, Chris, we share some of the same experiences, and I love what you said. Preparing them ahead of time, letting them know ahead of time, letting them know what the risk is and what the potential for us possibly having to go that much over. Where do those funds come from? Is it even a possibility? So, my man, we face similar challenges. I appreciate you letting us in and sharing some of that with us. And my man, thanks for being here, and thanks for being a guest of ours today.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, let's keep cruising on. I think I said Kelly will be next. Kelly, what's the biggest challenge that you faced this week? More importantly, what did you do to overcome it? Let's go.
Hi. The biggest challenge I faced this week was having a lot of things like preparing for a listing, right? Getting an offer written, doing the Hayward Street Festival, having the coffee hour, having a lot of things happening and having anxiety. But I overcame it by meditating, breathing, working hard, time management, waking up early, arriving on time, and I've had one of my strongest weeks yet.
God, I love that. So walk me through some of those things. You said the Hayward Street Festival, preparing a listing. What was the other one?
Offer. I have my coffee hour this morning. I have 2 showings later today. I have to get my sign. I have to get the Supra. I have to fully prepare for this listing. And my co-listing agent is not experienced. So it's kind of like we're both, so I'm leaning on the team heavily for this.
And through all of this activity, you're still running a household and you're still a mother.
Yes, and my house is decently clean because I cleaned it, and my kids are sleeping in still because it's summer, and oh, there was something else, but oh well, yeah. Oh, and I worked out more than I normally do.
Let's
I don't know
go.
if you can tell. I'm just kidding.
I love this. And here's why I love this, Kelly. In when we're all grinding, we're in grind season right now, and we're growing and we're pushing. The one thing that we have to do is we have to learn how to stop and like really, really prioritize everything, our calendar, our schedule, our workout routine, and start planning ahead, because we have to make sure to take care of ourselves, because that's how you'll get burned out. But I'm glad that you took some time to meditate, to decompress, to go and exercise, so you can be the best for not only for yourself, but for your consumers and for your family. So I love it. And hey, listen, I'm selfish sometimes about my workout. The whole family comes home and it's 5:30 and I go to the gym for 2 hours because I need that. I need that. So Kelly, I appreciate you sharing. Love all the traction that you have in your business right now. Damien, I'll come back to you in just 1 second. Let's go, Natalie. Natalie, biggest challenge that you faced this week. How did you overcome it? Let's go.
Hey everyone. Biggest challenge, my world got a little shook up and I'm gonna have to potentially move from the house I'm in and find new housing in the Bay Area. And we all know that is difficult. But I'm trying not to let the chaos that is around me affect, take me off my path and fuck up my schedule. I'm trying to just dial in my schedule as hard as I can. And, I've moved a million times. It's not that big of a deal. I'll find something, and just staying focused. And, that's pretty much it.
Natalie, I want to share a story with you because I think it's applicable to the message here. So I talked with somebody recently. I don't need to share the details of this person's, personal information, or I don't need to share the person's name. Well, they were living in a house, they flipped properties, they were living in a house, and unfortunately something had happened with the loan, and then the investors wanted the full amount of the value of the home, and they wanted it within a certain amount of time. And they gave this family literally 3 days. You got to imagine a family of 6 living in a big house was forced to move in 3 days. The new house. And so fortunately you got your stuff. There's a lot of people out there that are looking for a roommate that have some opportunities, and I would reach in internally because you might have somebody that's down to get a place with you on our team. And so some opportunity.
From living in Oakland for 10 years, I got this. So it's all good. I'll figure it out.
Right. Awesome. Well, if you need anything, let us know. I appreciate you sharing. Let's go, D. Bledsoe. Let's hear from you, big dog. What was your thoughts or contribution?
Sorry, walking the daughter into school right now, so I'll be quick. But just experienced a few losses in the recent weeks with offers not getting accepted, clients falling off for one reason or another, either getting daunted by losing out on offers or how much it would take for them to get into contract for what they want. And so it's been a little bit discouraging, but I've been here before, so getting over those challenges wasn't or isn't that difficult these days. I just keep showing up. So that's what I'm doing to get over. Like some of these days I haven't felt like going out and showing houses to newer clients because of what's happening with other clients, but that's not fair to who I'm dealing with in the present. So just keep showing up, and the results will come from that.
We always have this conversation for you guys. It's like, welcome to the world of coaching, right? Like you have to experience their losses. You have to maintain yourself. You still have to show up for them. And so it's hard being a coach for our clients. And that's one of the things that we really have to focus on, especially when it's tough. It's tough on us, but it's tough on them. So we're managing 2 sets of emotion, our own and our consumers. So D, like you said, just keep showing up, keep doing the work. I appreciate it. Enjoyed dropping baby at school. All right, you guys, I'm going to go to the next question here. What's the most scary part for you? And I want you to sit with this for a second. And like I said, I got permission from each of you to go a little bit further today. And I want to ask this question because I think it's really important. What's the most scary part for you? Which outcomes or interactions are you trying to avoid thinking about or doing, and why? And I'll give you some examples. Maybe it is the door knocking. Maybe it's hosting your first open house by yourself. Maybe it is posting the videos because for whatever fucking reason, you still don't like the way that you look on camera and somebody's going to judge you. Get over it, because guess what? People are going to judge you. That's how humans are put together. We judge people. No matter what happens in life, people are going to judge you. But the ones that like you, the ones that rock with you, those are the people that are your audience, that believe in the things that you believe in. So that's just an example. And I don't want to go off on that because you know me, I can. But what is the most scary part for you? Which outcomes or interactions are you trying to think about or avoid thinking about or doing? Then I'm going to go around the room right now and I'm going to pick some people that I have on camera. Let's go, Christina. And then let's go Samiri. Let's go for both of you. Christina, Macias Chan, let's have you answer this question first, and then we'll pass the mic over to Samiri. Let's go, Christina.
I think the most scary part for me is the door knocking. I haven't done it as much as I would like. And I think I'm just a little bit insecure of like if someone's just gonna like slam the door on me, or what if someone else on the street is watching and like I can get into something unsafe. So I think that's the scary part for me. And which outcomes or interactions am I trying and thinking about doing and why?
Before we go to the second part of this, and I'm sure people on this call have some contributions to what you're going to experience. Here's the thing. You have to know that going into the environment of knocking on doors, people are not going to be as nice as you. People are not going to receive the messaging the way that you would hope for them to. But we have to be okay with that. So what is challenging sometimes is expecting people to treat us the way that we would treat others, right? And that's just normal human kindness, right? It's not going to happen. So first and foremost, you have to be prepared to go out there and handle that rejection at a very high level, but also not attached to it emotionally, right? Like don't carry that as baggage and don't allow that to be a barrier, because you're going to have a lot of shitty people out there in the world that are going to be rude. But what's going to happen is you're going to knock on someone's door and you're going to light up their life. And they're going to light up your life. And you're going to have such a beautiful conversation that's going to lead to potential opportunities down the road, or an insight to the neighborhood, or that guy's moving over there, or that guy's a dickhead, don't go over there. I've been in this neighborhood for 20 years, and you're getting recon and you're getting data from these people. So first and foremost, you have to be okay. Right? You have to be okay with saying, you know what, chin up, chest out. I know I'm going to get some rejection. This shit's going to be tough. But all I'm looking for is just somebody to be open to having this conversation. And it's not going to happen until you start knocking on the doors. And here's the thing. How many doors have you actually knocked on up to this point in your career?
Probably like 5.
5. So is it safe to say you don't have a big data set to tell you whether you're good or bad at this endeavor?
Right. That's safe to say.
Safe to say. So what you don't have is you don't have a body of work just yet. So create the body of work by taking the knocks, by going and knocking on hundreds and hundreds of doors. And now you have a body of work. And now you can say, Elias, some things are just not working out. Let's evaluate what you're actually saying. And so I'm excited for this time for you. And I would talk with someone like Sierra. Sierra's knocking on 200 doors a week. She hated it at first. She didn't want to do it. She said, Elias, you're crazy. And now she's doing 200 doors a week. So embrace it. Let's go to the second part of it. Which outcomes or interactions are you thinking about avoiding and why? Is it similar to that or the same?
Yeah, I would say it's similar to that. Like what if someone just opens the door and then they're like, yeah, sure. And then I'm able to connect and then I'm calling them now. But then on the calls, they start being really rude. So I think that would be the second one, but I'm not afraid to do it. So I'm like, I really like what Christina from the money store once said, like, I'm not going to stop until they tell me to stop. So that really stuck with me. And I've kind of been carrying that out with anything that I do that I'm afraid to do. I'm just like, you know what? If they haven't said no, I'm not going to stop. Like, why would I? So I'm just going to keep with that and move forward.
I love this. And Christina, at the end of the day, this goes back to the desire, right? When you think about the desire to be in this business and how you want to impact your own life as well as the lives of others, like I'm knocking because I truly, truly have something of value to share with you. And if you're open-minded enough to hear what I have to say, you might find what that value is. But if they want to be closed-minded, it's okay. I got other doors to knock on. Mr. Johnson, you have a wonderful day. By the way, I love what you've done with the yard. I'm going to knock on the Anderson's door next door. So it's like, you have to believe so much in what you're doing that you'll make the calls, you'll take the no's, and you'll keep moving forward no matter what. And also, welcome to sales. This is sales 101, right? This is sales 101. We signed up for this. We signed up to walk into the fire. But like we said before, you guys are fucking firefighters. You guys control the fire, right? We signed up to say, you know what? I'm going right into the fire. But guess what? You're the firefighters. So you get to control that fire. So I'm excited for this path. It's going to be tough, but what you'll find is that you'll get into a rhythm. And God, you'll start to find so many opportunities. Anybody want to chime in on this? Because I feel like there's some people that have done really well in door knocking. Anybody have any thoughts or contributions on this specific subject? I got 2 hands raised right now. Let me see who those hands are. Is it Blessing, Brandy, Demian? Let's go Blessing first.
I was going to tell her that most people who door knock and are afraid of the outcome, if we focus on that negative outcome, we actually will attract it, because that's all that we're looking for, and we'll miss the positives. So I have always. Can you hear me now? Oh no.
I think Elias is frozen. I can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yeah,
Okay. What I was going to say is that I have always been, I was just sharing this with Samiri, that I am typically nervous to go door knocking, but if we focus on that negative outcome, we'll actually miss the positives. But at the end of the day, we can shift our persona to appear very confident. And if we exude that confidence when we walk up to the door, then that other person feels it, and we can shift whatever would have been just by, showing up confident. Because a lot of people do really big, scary things and are still scared and fearful of it. So just go for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
God, I love that. Sorry, I froze for a second. But can you guys hear me again? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mic check. Somebody say something. Make sure.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
All right, thank you guys. So what I love about what Blessing just said is that there's literally physiology shifts in how to feel and look certain or uncertain, right? Literally how we carry ourselves and the physiology and the way that we stand, the moment that they open up the door will give a sense of, is this person shy and uncertain of what they're going to say? Or are they actually in control? They look good. They're standing, they're postured. They have a sense of certainty. It's literally like uncertainty, certain, right? Like there's so many small little cues that make you feel like, well, I'm ready. Knock on the door. Bring it. Hi, Tom. How are you? Having a bad day? It's all right. I'm here just to bring you some knowledge and bring you some game. Like certainty is so important when you walk up to a door, and it all starts with your posture and your physiology. So I just can go on and on about the subject because there's so many small nuances. Let's go to Brandy and then we'll continue flowing.
Pretty much the same thing. It's your energy. I always prep myself before I go. I like sing a song in my head, or I'm like, yeah, you got that. Like, I don't know. It's all like about affirmations and stuff. And I'm like, most of the time I have my kids with me, so it's happy energy anyways. Like, who's really gonna like be like, oh, your kids, like usually like I have people wanting to come door knocking with me because they're like, oh, this is so fun. But like yesterday I went by myself. It's very odd when I go by myself. And I'm like, man, I'm bored. Like, or I'm like, I'm missing something. But you will get the people that are like, I got one yesterday. He pointed to his door. It said no soliciting. I said, oh, soliciting. And I just put up the biggest smile on my face. And he kind of like looked back like, what? And then he smiled as well. And he's like, well, what do you got for me? And I said, I'm inviting you over. And so it's your framework and how you can like just, I don't know, just come friendly. Like you're not there to attack them. They're not there to attack you. My biggest fear is dogs. And I actually like dogs, but like stranger dogs, like I've been attacked door knocking before as a little girl. So funny is the times that I have been door knocking now, when a dog has come out, they want to come with me. Like yesterday, a guy's little dog went running out and she came right up to me and I picked her up and I was like, here you go. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. But like, yeah. So I think you just got to do it. If you're scared about like the neighborhood, just bring somebody with you. You know, don't go by yourself until you get comfortable. And like every door you knock, you're like, okay, I'm going to say this, or oh, I got this, or, you know, okay, let me do one more. So It's more of a head game and an energy thing.
Yeah, 100%. And here's the thing too, and I appreciate everyone's contributions. Christina, like really, really get secure with what you're actually going to say. The last thing you want to do is be, like fumbling over your words at the moment that they open. At least practice to the point where you feel that you're in a flow, to where when they answer the door and they come to the door, you have a cadence, you understand where you're going to take them in the conversation. Everything we do in sales is all about framework. I'm going to set the tone, I'm going to ask the right questions, and then I'm going to go to my next logical conclusion, aka the close. And so that framework is super important. It's only going to happen by you practicing. So hey, I appreciate your contribution on this, Christina. Thank you guys for all the insights. Samiri, let's go to you. I'm actually going to go to the next question, and let's go here. Samiri, what projects were you focused on this week? I have an insight of some of the projects that you were focused on, but let's hear from you. What projects were you focused on this week? And I'll also go to Jacob. So I want to hear from both of you. So let's go. Samiri, what projects were you focused on this week?
Oh, and actually, both questions actually tied. But I was focused on door knocking. Funny that it was Christina, because before it was something that I was scared of doing as well, and it terrified me. But as I did it, like it's very much so conversational. And it's like you said, like we do have to have a framework so we don't fumble what to say, but I at least like to go in with, it's just a conversation, it's just trying to like get to know the neighborhood, get to know the neighbors. And then my other project that I was working with is the VTO year plan that I shared with you.
Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about that. VTO is your Vision Traction Organizer. If you have not done your Vision Traction Organizer, please do that. It's going to help you get in alignment with what your core focus in this business is, and I promise you it'll be a game changer in your business if you have not done that. So Mary, what was one thing from our conversation that gave you a little bit more clarity on your VTO?
It was, I had good goals set for like what I want to do and what I want to focus for myself, but you like really made it like, okay, well that's good, but now how does that reflect on your consumers? And that was like game change for me, because it's like, yeah, you're right, like it should always be, how can I help my consumers, because that's why I'm doing this.
Totally. I love it. And you guys, here was the framework. So we talked a little bit about core values, and she listed out core values. And I think one of the core values was diligent. And I really love that word. But I think that she listed her core values out and said, this is how I operate, and these are the things that are important, and this is how I do business. And I asked her a question. I think I've asked you guys as well, but let me restate this question. If you have core values, and these are principles, and these are absolutes in how you operate in business and how you show up for your consumers. My question to everybody on this call and the people that will see this in the future is, how do people experience those core values? If you say that I'm diligent, okay, cool. Well, how do I, as a consumer, experience how diligent you are? What does that process look like? What are you taking me through? What are you holding my hand through? What are you educating me on to help me understand and feel and experience that core value? So it's one thing to state a core value, but it's another thing to share with the consumer how they experience that core value. And that's that, when you guys get in alignment with that, all things change in business. So really appreciate your contributions. Let's go Jacob Alley. Jacob Alley, what were you focused on this week? What projects? Let's hear from you, big dog.
Yeah, this week, mostly just buyer's tours, meeting a lot of new people, which is good. So I got like a few more new clients that I can be following up on. Also just following up on like past leads from like open houses, and just like, different people in my pipeline, making sure I touch them so like they don't forget about me. Because I mean, we all know, like, if we're not the ones reaching out, someone else is going to be reaching out. So we want to be like the first one on their mind. So just doing that. Also had a buyer's consultation this week too. Went pretty good. So yeah, just focusing on getting more clients, more leads, so I can, so I can just stay more busy and keep showing people homes, and hopefully get in contract again soon. Also, I've been dealing with a mobile home client, which is like totally different. It's like so much different, a lot more complicated. So, just working on that, getting my client a loan for her mobile home.
I love it. You guys, here's some advice for you, Jacob. I appreciate your contribution. You need to be living in your CRM. You need to be living in your CRM, and you need to be living in your Real Scout. You should be in there. There should be so many active notes. You should be able to be looking at the recent history, how many times they're looking at homes, what did they open today, what did they view yesterday, what did they view in the last couple of minutes. Like, you guys need to be living in that CRM and in your Real Scout, because I promise you, if you're focused on those, you're going to find opportunities. And every single person that you meet goes to both of those platforms. You need to be able to have analytics. You need to be able to see what's happening. You need to be able to think like the consumer. The only way that you're going to be able to do that is putting them in your CRM and putting them in Real Scout. So Jacob, I appreciate your contributions. So I'm going to go to the next person. Did you hit your goals this week? And if no, in the realm of possibility, could you? And what stood in your way if you did not? So let's go. Who do I have on the call? Let's go really quick. Angelica, did you hit your goals for the week? All right, we'll find that mute button. I'll give her another 5 seconds. All right, it's hard on the cell phone sometimes. All right, so let's go over to Morgan. Morgan, can you talk?
Yes, I can.
All right, Morgan, did you hit your goals for this week?
Not all of them, no.
Okay, in the realm of possibility, could you have?
Yes.
All right, what stood in your way?
My mind.
Say
Me
again?
just getting in my head.
Okay, and so you want to talk through this a little bit? What do you mean, you in your head?
Like, I start overthinking things. Like, I take a simple task and then I make it into like a way bigger task than it needs to be. So like, instead of just
stay there for a quick second. Let me get a raise of hands if anybody has ever been there before. That you just get stuck in overthinking some of the most simplistic things, and you just overthink, and now you've made the shit so complicated, and then you make it so complicated that you don't actually even do the thing that you wanted to do in the first place. Ever happen to any of you? All right, Morgan. Little bit of advice here for you, and I want to turn the mic back over to you. When you have an idea, when you have a plan, speed to execution. Even if it's not perfect, just put it out there, right? And then be like, okay, next time I'll do it a little bit different, but speed to execution, because when you speed up that execution, you create some pressure, you create some tension, but you also eliminate the thought behind it, right? I don't need to think about all these things. I'm just going to execute on it. Was it perfect? No. Can I get better next time? Yes. But speed to execution minimizes the amount of thought that has to go into it. And I promise you, that's part of the way that we've grown this company is speed to execution. But back to you.
Yeah, I just forgot what I was gonna say. I know. I need to I'm trying to tell myself, like, don't think about it, just do it. Like, just jump to it. And I've started to get better at it, but in my personal life and not in the business aspect of things.
All right, so stay there for a moment, because there's some power in this. If you're able to do that in your personal life, that means that your brain is already wired that way to make quick decisions, to execute quickly, especially being a parent. There's so many things that we have to do in the moment for our children. So if your brain is already wired that way, then you just need to tap into that part of your brain that is already wired that way. So it's like oftentimes we're trying to find the answers, when if we look in ourselves in our own life right now and the things that we're doing, oftentimes the answer is already there. So if you could do it in one part of your life, you could do it in another part of your life. It's just like growth. Someone says, Elias, I want to grow to the next level. Well, fuck, the answer's not over there. The answer's in your past, because we've all had things that we've been through, that we've grown through. And that in itself is your growth map. That's your growth map. So Morgan, I appreciate this conversation. And if you need any support from me at all, what I want to remind you of the speed to execution. Get out of your head and just do it. Listen,
yeah.
I'm scared all the time. I don't have all the answers. I think about a lot of things. I have all kinds of projects. Are all of them perfect? No, not at all. But the one thing that I've learned is that I'm going to get a lot of experience by just implementing very, very quick. And then what I'll do is I'll analyze that body of work and see how I can make it better. So speed to execution.
Yes, I'm gonna write that down and put it everywhere.
All right. I appreciate you showing up. I don't see Chicken Mom on here today. I like that you guys are partners in crime. It's really cool seeing what you guys are building. All right, let's cruise.
Yeah.
All right, a situation or task that you handled well this week, whether it was a tough client, whether it was multiple offers, whether it was, well, I don't know what it was. A situation that you handled well this week was, let's go to Christina. Christina, let's go over to you. Noons, I'll head over to you. What was the situation that you handled well this week? All right, I think we're finding that mute button one more time. She's frozen on me. All right.
Okay, here we go.
Here we are. Hi.
Hi, sorry guys. I know it's so weird on the phone. I would say the situation was having a client that they're a little bit not as tech savvy, and they get just super frustrated with technology. And sometimes, they'll just be, I have a client who's being just rude. Like everything was like, I keep getting these reminders, but I can't figure it out. So I'm just trying to not be, taking those clients and be like, okay, you know what to do to help simplify it and take the emotion out. So that's how I really just try to focus and not let it, because sometimes it'll, to let it bother us. And clients can be rude, and you're not being rude. I think just remembering, okay, going through a home purpose, they don't mean it. It's not really personal flustered. So that was something that I.
Yeah, it's all right. It cut out a little bit, but I think that I got the messaging here. I have to deal with this myself, and I'm only going to speak about this from experience. Oftentimes we bring on agents that sometimes they might not have like all the technical or the technological background. Maybe they're not as tech savvy, right? And so it's like we have to display a certain level of patience and walking them through certain things. So I'm with you on that, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, sorry, my internet.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yes, my internet had totally gone. But yeah, basically that's what it was. There's just clients just learning to explain to them, making things more simplified and just not taking it personal and just figuring out what can I do to help resolve this issue and on to the next.
Beautiful. Well, I love it. I appreciate your contribution as always. I'm going to have you guys just be rapid fire on this one. I could have made this week more productive if I did this, right? And when you think about this, it should be simple. More calls, more conversations, more videos, whatever the case is. So let's just do rapid fire on this one. Let's go. I could have made this week more productive if I, Darnell, go.
Mute button. Well, that list is very long. So, I mean, I could have, of course, made more calls. I could have door knocked. I'm not going to make any excuses about it. I could have did that and turned the week up, but yeah, I've just been taking care of these buyers that I have.
Hey, my man. And you're a new father, so also allow some room for grace. But I appreciate you being real, appreciate you being honest. Let's go, Sebastian. I could have been more productive this week if I finish that sentence. Let's go, Sebastian.
If I call the clients that we got yesterday in the street, the Hayward Street party, so we got a seller, so I have to call him at 11 and just check out with another one that wants to talk the next week. So yeah, I had to make many calls the next week.
Good. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let's go to the next one. And this is an internal question. I don't need you guys' answers on this one. How bad do you want success? And how would we know? I just want to sit there for a second. I got permission from you guys to go a little bit further today. Like, how bad do you actually want success? And how would we know? What I mean by that is if you were to look at your follow-up boss right now and look at all of your notes from the week, if you were to look at the emails that you sent this week, if you were to go through your phone and look at the text messages that you sent, if you were able to look at how many stories you dropped this week, how many videos you created, how many opportunities that you created for yourself, how many one-to-one videos did you send to your sphere because you knew about life events, milestones, birthdays, and you did, 50 one-to-one videos this week, just to let people know that you're truly interested in their life. If you want success that bad, how would we know? How would we know? Because if you want success so bad, which I take it if you're on this call, you do, then that is evident in all the things that you do. It shows up in the action, right? You don't even have to say how bad you want it because all of your activity speaks so loud that people see it. They see it. So how bad do you want success? And how would we know? And I'm gonna hit you guys with this last one here. And I'm gonna go to Mel because I know that Mel will have a really good answer for this. If you were to prioritize your time, learn the skills you desire to be more effective, face your fears, create a crystal clear vision for your business, which I believe that Mel does have a crystal clear vision. When you close your eyes for a moment and future cast with me, how does your business look 5 years from now? Who in your life has been positively impacted and who have you become as an agent, a mom, and an entrepreneur? I want you to answer that question for me, Mel, because I know you are a heart-centered person, you're an emotional creature, and if you could, answer this question for me.
My business would be full of abundance, and my family would be the ones that are affected the most. When I think about my why 5 years ago and my why today, they're completely different, right? Because children have that ability to just transform your life. And so I want to be able to give my son all of the opportunities that I didn't have growing up. And so that's the biggest propeller for me in my business, and the person that I will be able to show up as for my family, my mom, my dad, my husband, my friends, is I can just feel her, and she's so powerful and she is so abundant. And I want to be a filter to be able to bring in that abundance, to be able to bring in that money, those clients, those opportunities, so that I could just turn around and pour back into everyone else around me, because that is what lights me up. It's not about just getting the money and putting it in my bank account. That's not what keeps us happy. That's not what keeps us abundant. The ability to receive those gifts and then be able to pour back into everyone else around us and better their lives on a high level. I think that's why we're all here at the end of the day. And so that is just limitless, right? There's no ceiling when it comes to that. There is no ceiling to the amount of abundance and prosperity one can take into their life, and what you do with that and how you pour into the people around you. That's what lights me up. And that's why I want the success.
You guys, I mean, just stay there for a second. Like, you have to be so compelled by this that if I have the skills, if I have the time management, if I have a clear vision, like, who have I become? Who have I impacted? Who has been able to change their life because of the fortune that I've been able to build because I helped so many people? Like, you got to see yourself 5 years from now. Like, who are you becoming? I'm going to work for that person, right? And I think about our roles, and I think about my role, right? Why can't I impact millions? Why can't I impact millions of people, right? You guys have had an impact on me, and my hope is that I've had an impact on you. But I look at this 5 years down the road, why can't I impact millions of people? Nothing is standing in my way. Nothing. I have the energy, I have the resources, I have the time, I have the desire, and I have the vision for something so big like Mel to create for my family and for the people that I truly care about. So I appreciate you guys' contribution. Let's go to Cynthia really quick, and then I'm gonna go to some takeaways.
Ooh, I finally got it together over here. So, on that page, when I think about that, in light of my biggest why is in light of Juneteenth, which was just here, that really my biggest goal in life is to do it for my ancestors, the ones that preceded me. Because of their struggle and because of them, I am. So that's my biggest why.
God, I absolutely love that. And there's so many deep roots in that messaging. And then when you make that a part of the messaging, and there's a conduit from your true desire to want to help the community build wealth at a very high level, like, that is so rooted in something so powerful. So it should never allow you to take inaction, because something so deep as that should remove any inaction. It should remove procrastination. It should remove fear because I'm so driven by something that is so deeply connected to me, to my family, to my culture, to my roots. And I want you to always remember that. So great stuff, Cynthia. I appreciate you. Let's go.
I just want to say that I put the time in this week. That was a lot of my work. That's, great accomplishment because I was trying to figure this whole thing out overall, just trying to get it all figured out. And with that as my why, then, the rest is, just watch.
That's right. Just watch. I love it. Let's go, Brandy. Brandy, key takeaways from our time together today. Let's go to you. Then I'm going to go over to our guest, back over to Chris, if he is still here, and then we'll start wrapping session.
Okay, this subject and what Mel said just resonated so much. And I was like, don't say it, don't say it. But I just have to add for anyone on here who doesn't have kids, because for us as parents, it's so easy. That is like the easiest motivation, the easiest inspo. But from what Mel said, like the person from 5 years ago is so different than the person now. So anybody listening that either is like, well, heck, I don't have kids, I don't have a significant other, like, what do I do? Because there was a point in my life that even when I had kids, I was just so low, it didn't even matter. And I won't touch on that, but I just want to share that how I got out of that is because I had to reach inside myself and go, who is the little girl that really needed somebody inside me? Show up for that person. And that changed that whole perspective. And I know it's kind of odd to say that, like to say that there was a time in my life that my kids mattered, but I couldn't even, my brain couldn't process what was happening to me.
Wow.
So you show up for you. And if you were in a good spot when you were younger, show up for the people around you that don't have that person. Just be that person and it will change your entire world.
I love this. I love this. You guys, as much as my family is important to me, they're not my why. They're not my why. They're not my why. My why is a 12-year-old boy that grew up with an addict for a mother, didn't have anything, living on the streets, to never have to experience how that felt. That's my why. My family is an accelerator, but they're not my why. And I love my family, but they're not my why. And so I appreciate this perspective, Brandy. Let's close session, you guys. I'm going to go around the room, get a couple key takeaways from some people on the call. Angel Santana, thanks for being a guest today. I would love to hear from you. One key takeaway from our time together today. Big Dog, let's hear from you.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Perfect. One of the things I enjoyed was the speed to execute. I know we tend to get in our heads really, really heavily, but I know this past week I've been very diligent and very focused on my goals. So looking back at the speed to execute is just a great reminder for me to just continue pressing on, even though I am tired or am nervous or have self-doubt.
Let's go, Big Dog. Appreciate you being here. If you guys ever have a referral in the Florida market, feel free to hit up our boy Angel Santana. You can find him on Instagram. Angel, if you can put your Instagram handle down below, we'd love to connect you if we ever have a referral. Let's go, Hugo. Hugo, one key takeaway from our time together today, Big Dog. Let's hear from you.
Honestly, for me, the last one was Brandy's contribution, right? Going ahead and, giving that perspective, doing it, and also your contribution, right? On the why, right? Looking back and doing it for ourselves, right? Because sometimes, I personally tend to, go ahead and kind of forget about my past, right? But that's something good to go ahead and look back, right? Because that's definitely a good why that I can have.
Well, I love it. You guys, I appreciate all your contributions today. I want to go down this path from time to time. And listen, I don't want to be the motivational guy. That's not my fucking job. I'm not here to motivate you guys. I'm here to give you clarity and I'm here to give you perspective, right? And I want to give you so much clarity that when the road to action is the road that you're challenged with going down, like you are so clear on the path of 5 years from now, Mel, that nothing allows inaction. Nothing allows inconsistency because you're so driven by that. When was the last fucking time you saw me not show up? Tell me. And I'm down to have that conversation with you. When was the last time you saw me not show up for this company, for these calls, for this industry? Come at me, because there's not a time. Why though? Why? It's not because of right now. It is so far down the road that I am compelled that I am driven, that I am pushed by such a big reason that I cannot stand for inaction. I cannot stand for inconsistency. I will not allow that to even happen. So show up for yourselves. Show up for this, for the person that you wanted to show up for when you were a kid, like Brandy said, or show up for the future person that you're becoming. But whatever it is, if you are so compelled by your vision, it should remove inaction and inconsistency. I appreciate you guys at a very high level. Tomorrow, or excuse me, on Monday, we will have group coaching, but on Wednesday and Friday, we will not have group coaching. I am out of pocket. I am visiting, or excuse me, I'm having my family visit. It's the last week Lily's here. And so I'm going to take this next week and I'm just going to enjoy. And I got a new barbecue and we're just going to cook carne asada and hang out at the fire pit and listen to some cool music. I literally have no plans except for that. So thank you guys for being here. As always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and go out there and crush your weekend. Peace.